Hi everyone, I have Mr. Manoj Kumar Anand ji with us. Manoj ji, कैसे हैं आप?
Absolutely fine. That's
So
nice.
Manoj ji, I'd like to understand from you what services do you provide?
या देखिए हम लोग इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी के स्पेशलिस्ट हैं. तो हम लोग वी आर वर्किंग एज एन आरपी लिक्विडेटर इन मेनी ऑफ द बिग कॉर्पोरेट्स. तो हम इसके अंदर वी कैन हैव एसोसिएशन विद यू इन टू थ्री टाइप्स. One is that we can give you some work, and another is that we can get some work from you also. Basically, we get many times we get many properties which are quite attractive in buying. If you have anybody who can, who is interested in buying those properties there, properties can consist of land and building, can consist of plant and machinery, can consist of whole factory setup also there. So we can offer one that services. Another is that whenever we get appointed RP, we require 6 valuers to be appointed, and we require forensic auditors to be appointed. We require auditors many times also, statutory auditor or internal auditor to be appointed. For that, we also need we need some association whereby we can we are interested in like-minded CFO who can join us, and this is the way we can work together.
Okay. About insolvency professional, right? You are the insolvency
Yes,
professional.
yes.
So can you give us the brief about what insolvency professional is about? What work does the insolvency professional does? And first we'll go for this thing.
Okay. Insolvency professional is a very new area in India. It has legally gained recognition only in the last 7-8 years, but it virtually developed only in the last 2-3 years after Corona. What happened is that any corporate who is in financial difficulty, he can go for the restructuring tool under IBC. Here we have three types of application. One is under section 7, another is under section 9, and third one is under section 59. तो बेसिकली हम इसके अंदर किसी कॉर्पोरेट्स का हम रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग का प्रोसेस भी इसके थ्रू कर सकते हैं. This is not only limited to the corporates, but it now has been extended to the personal guarantor to the corporate debtors, meaning thereby individuals also who are who has given guarantee to the any corporate loan, their affairs can also be planned, and this is the way we can help any of your client who is maybe either in financial stress or otherwise want to do something. In that case, we can help them out for doing planning their affairs, and they can come with clean slate with all liabilities written off as per law, which can give very immense benefit to that particular corporate.
What motivated you to go into this particular practice? Because these are the niche areas, I can say, but probably many of the chartered accountants are not aware about all these things, and maybe they're also they don't have the connects or the network wherein they can pitch to the customers for such kind of things. I would also like to know from you how they can get the customers for this particular thing. Let's say I am planning to do some course on that thing. Of course, probably I say might be helping us for this thing. Once I have the certification course related to the insolvency, उसके बाद मुझे मार्केट में कैसे जाना है, to whom do I need to approach for this thing and how do I need to approach? Of course, आप अप्रोच तो करोगे, जो भी बैंकरप्ट होने वाले उनको आप अप्रोच करोगे, राइट? बट वो डेटा कहाँ से मिलता है? यहाँ मुझे कनेक्ट भी करना है, तो हाउ विल आई बी एबल टू नो कि वो बंदे को हमारी जरूरत है?
देखिए, एज ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट दिस इज अ वेरी लुक्रेटिव प्रोफेशन. कैसे लुक्रेटिव है ये मैं आपको बताता हूँ. As a chartered accountant, you are always act as a consultant there, or as an auditor there. Either traditionally you be acting either as a tax consultant or GST consultant, or maybe your similar type of consultant along with the statutory audit which you are doing. But what motivated me, but in the case of insolvency, in the case of your appointment as an under IBC, you are appointed as the CEO of the company. COE of the company means Chief Executive Officer of the company. For example, the assignment which I handle till date, I just explain it to you, and then you will be see that how flourishing and how big it is, exceeding our existing CA network. I was being appointed as a CEO of the MR Limited. which is having a turnover of around 15,000 crore rupees, borrowing of 14,000 crore rupees. I was being appointed one of the Tata companies as a consultant, Toyer Roads, which was having a turnover of around 5,000 crore rupees, having an asset base of 3,000 crore rupees. Similarly, I handled many other assignments in my last 6 years of my tenure, around 45 such assignments. And question come out to be how you can do it. It's not easy. It's very difficult. You have to pass one exam, which is conducted by the Insolvency Bankruptcy Board of India, IBBI. You first of all you have to pass that exam. Second is that you should have a post qualification experience of 10 years after CA, but post qualification experience of any postgraduate. But mainly, the market which is being captured, it is being captured by the CAs only, because of our intricate knowledge of this thing, financials also, and otherwise also. Appointment is done by courts or banks generally. Banks proposes, court disposes of. But generally, whatever banks proposes, court disposes of, until unless they find as an exception something wrong there. As far as getting clientele work is concerned, for me, my main clients are mostly all public sector banks, PNB, SBI, Canara Bank, Indian Bank. Along with that, some big NBFCs like India Bull, like ICRE. ERC is also our client, like ICRE, like as I told you, India Bull, ICRE, and similarly 2-3 other financial institutions or NBFCs are our clients. And whenever anybody defaults in their loan, they offer us, they give us a proposal to take over that particular company and try to return back our loan through resolution plan. This is a very complicated process. It takes approximately, theoretically, it has to be completed within 180 days or 270 days or maximum 330 days. But practically it takes more than that time. But in any case, it ends on the average within 2 years. So your assignment is only for 2 years. And but during that 2 years, you are responsible to statutory authorities also, court also. You are being very closely monitored by IBBI. You are being very closely monitored by the NCLT. NCLT means National Complaint Tribunal, through periodic reporting and all this thing there. But in nutshell, this is a very lucrative profession if you can, specialize in it. At the moment in India, there is hardly 2,000 persons who are doing this work. Hardly 2,000, the 2,000 something who is authorized to do this thing, who got their AF. Here you need to renew your AFA every year. That is called authorization for assignment. So hardly 2,000 people, 2,000 or 2,300 people are there who has got renewed their authorization for assignment. But out of that, only 100 people are doing good work. And earning potential as far as CA work and RCA traditional work and here is concerned, it's a huge difference. You can earn a lot there. Reason for that is that फीस आपको खुद ही अपनी फीस बनानी है, खुद ही फीस का चेक काटना है, किसी से आपको कुछ मांगना नहीं है. और दूसरी बात ये कि आपकी फीस जो है, ये इसकी जो पेमेंट है, इसकी प्रायोरिटी सबसे ऊपर है. कोर्ट हैज टेकन केयर ऑफ दैट. Along with that also, court has also prescribed your chart of fees also. तो इसके अंदर वो ये हमारे जो कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट वाला नहीं है सिस्टम, यहाँ पे जो फीस प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है वो मैंडेटरी है और उन्होंने मिनिमम फीस प्रिस्क्राइब करी हुई है. और अगर आपका मार्केट वैल्यू अच्छा है, इंटेलिजेंट है आप और पीपल आर आफ्टर यू, so then you can command as much as you want.
And approximately in one project, what's the approximate fees that we generally get? A minimum or maximum, a simple average or range if you can give.
देखिए इसके अंदर जो फीस की डिटर्मिनेशन है, मैं आपको सिंपल वे से बताता हूँ. कॉर्पोरेट्स के अंदर इसके अंदर जितने अमाउंट का क्लेम आता है उसके हिसाब से आपकी फीस होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आपका क्लेम का अमाउंट 50,000 या 50 करोड़ या उससे कम है तो आपकी फीस होगी 50,000 रुपया पर मंथ. और यही अगर आपका क्लेम का अमाउंट 2,500-3,000 करोड़ तक पहुंच जाता है तो आपकी फीस हो जाती है 5 लाख से लेके 7 लाख रुपया पर मंथ मिनिमम. एंड उसके साथ इंसेंटिव भी होता है. इंसेंटिव होता है कि अगर आपने ये कोई प्लान, आपने लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू से ज्यादा पे आपने कोई एसेट खरीद दिया तो दैट केस यू गेट इंसेंटिव फॉर 0.25%, 0.5%. some system is there. So that many times runs into not only lakh but sometimes crore also. तो ये आपका जो है एक आधे साल के अंदर असाइनमेंट होती है. ऑन दी एवरेज अगर आप कहें तो 2-2.5 लाख रुपए एक असाइनमेंट पे पर मंथ आपको मिल ही जाता है. नंबर 1 थिंग. नंबर 2 बात इसके अंदर सबसे अच्छी बात जो मेरे को ये लगी कि आप अपने लिए ही एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं करते, आपको अपने साथ कम से कम 15 या 20 बंदों को और एम्प्लॉयमेंट देते हो. वो कैसे देते हो आप? जैसे आपको 6 वैल्यूअर अपॉइंट करने हैं, दे हैव टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट. आपने 6 फर्म्स को दे दिया. एक आपको फॉरेंसिक ऑडिटर अपॉइंट करना है, 7 आपने ये कर दिया. आपने अपने आप को रिप्रेजेंट करना है, कॉर्पोरेट डेटर को रिप्रेजेंट करना है, फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स को रिप्रेजेंट करना है. तो इस तरह से आपको कम से कम 4 या 5 एडवोकेट फर्म चाहिए. तो 7, 5, 12 तो मैंने आपको खड़े खड़े ही गिना दिया है. इसके अलावा अगर आप स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर अपॉइंट करते हो, इंटरनल ऑडिटर अपॉइंट करते हो, या स्पेशल पर्पस के लिए इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट अपॉइंट करते हो, तो that is something very good. And when you are giving employment and work to other people, really then you command also. It's like basically you're working as a CEO of any corporate. ये मैंने आपको कॉर्पोरेट्स का बताया. अब इसके साथ पर्सनल कंटेंट्स के भी बहुत सारे लोग हमारे पास जैसे आए कि किसी ने जैसे व्हाट हैपेंड कि बिकॉज ऑफ एनी मिस एडवेंचर और बिकॉज ऑफ देयर बैड लक और बिकॉज ऑफ देयर बैड थॉट, जीएसटी वगैरह की उन्होंने लाइबिलिटीज वगैरह बहुत ज्यादा ही आगे, उन्होंने कुछ एंट्री वेंट्री का गलत काम कर लिया, या टैक्सेशन के अंदर बिकॉज ऑफ एनी नॉन रीजन बहुत सारी एडिशंस हो गई. एज रिजल्ट ऑफ इट ह्यूज लाइबिलिटी केम ऑन देयर हेड, जो कि उन दोज रिस्पेक्टिव एक्ट्स के अंदर उनको कोई बेनिफिट नहीं मिल सकता था. तो देन दे केम टू अस एंड वी प्लान देयर फेयर, और उनको हमने क्लीन स्लेट करके बाहर निकाल दिया विद कोर्ट ऑर्डर्स. तो ये भी अपने आप में बहुत अच्छी सेटिस्फेक्शन देता है आपको कि जो आप एक रिस्पेक्टिव एक्ट के एक्सपर्ट जो हैं उनके थ्रू भी हमारे को काम मिलता है काफी. जब वो देखते हैं कि हम अपने एक्ट के अंदर इनका काम नहीं कर सकते, तो देन अंडर दिस एक्ट जो कि एक्सीडिंग एक्ट है, आई जस्ट टेल यू, आईबीसी एक्ट जो है ये ऑल एक्ट्स को एक्सीड करता है, चाहे वो इनकम टैक्स है या जीएसटी, एनी अदर एक्ट, यानी इट एक्सीड्स. अगर कोई कंफ्लिक्टिंग सिचुएशन आती है तो आईबीसी विल प्रिवेल. तो इस करके आपको यू कैन गिव इमेंस बेनिफिट टू द पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स आल्सो.
सुपर्ब सर, सुपर्ब. बहुत आपने डिटेल में एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है अबाउट दिस थिंग. आई थिंक काफी सीएस को इसमें से डिटेल नॉलेज मिलेगा कि हाउ दे कैन प्रोसीड फर्दर इन केस इफ दे आर गोइंग फॉर द इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल. थैंक यू सो मच सर. मनोज जी, आपसे मिलके बहुत अच्छा लगा.
Great. Nice to me also. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of sharing my knowledge and updating to my CA fellow brothers also. In fact, I'm a very prolific speaker also. I take a lot of webinars and all this thing there. I have a YouTube channel also. So whereby I take a lot of technical classes only on IBC. Earlier, I was doing a lot of taxation work also. Up to ITAT, I was appearing quite regularly. But now I've delegated to my partners. I'm looking after only and only for IBC.
Superb sir, superb. It was nice meeting you sir over here.
Thank you.
Thank you
Kapil ji.
so much
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Thank you so
Thank
much.